I think it's fair to say one thing. You do not want to try trash talking the Warriors, because everything might just end up going all wrong.
The Warriors' road struggles continue as they fall to 7-27 on the road. Stephen A., how bad is this for the Warriors?
It's bad. Just like I said last night on NBA Countdown. That's why I had them falling out of the top 6, because they got 8 road games. For some reason, they get away from San Fran, from the Chase Center, and they forget how to play.
I hate to say this right now, but to be honest with you, I don't see the Golden State Warriors bringing home another championship.
Y'all gonna sit on First Take. You and Dominique Foxworth are going to sit on First Take and say that Steph Curry will not be in the conversation for a championship in the next 4 years.
Clearly remember some experts and talking heads putting up the big zero of how many championships we would have going forward because of everything that we went through. So
the good old disrespect, the bad takes, the ignorance. They just won't stop disrespecting the 4-time champs, will they? Because the disrespect might have been at its all-time high in the 2023 season for the then defending champion Golden State Warriors. And this time, the Warriors took exception to the smack talk in an entirely different way. Let's start things off just recently at the end of last season. A time so interesting and a time so picture perfect for Warriors haters to start talking. And trust me, if you really want to hear this, you want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel before you miss another moment. The date was April 9th, 2023, when the defending champs took north to Portland to face the Trailblazers led by superstar point Damian Lillard. Now, here's the backdrop. The Warriors were hearing all week, the entire season, that they just flat suck on the road and that they would eventually fall out of the playoff picture. But what the haters didn't quickly realize was the fact that all this talking was going to bring out a totally different monster in the Warriors. So, what did they do? I'm glad you asked.
For whatever comes my way.
Yeah, Trendon Watford a couple free throws. He had 24 yesterday against the Clips. Klay Thompson with 4. Oh, Peyton, pickpocket of Sharp. Moody on the handle. Moses slipped. Curry sidestep 3. Got another one! Kuminga not going to settle for that 3 initially. Shot clock at 8. Keep the ball moving at 7. Poole, step around 3. Got it! 55 for the Warriors!
When everyone least expected it, the Dubs exploded for a new NBA record, 55 points in a quarter, in grand fashion, hitting 12, I repeat, 12 three-pointers in the record-breaking quarter while more than doubling the Blazers' points. 55-27, an absolute destruction in just the first 12 minutes of action. Wait, were they still saying that the Warriors couldn't perform on the road? Not after that game. But you see, my faithful watchers, being great for a long time probably means you've had folks hating for a long time too. And some of them haters just happen to be young guys, inexperienced, and all that, thinking they could stomp all over the Dubs dynasty and make them break in half. This rising Houston Rockets star crossed that line with none other than Steph Curry 2 seasons ago. For a guy who's a nice player, no doubt, he ain't Steph Curry, not even in the same stratosphere. Now, Steph's already shown that he can become a walking firestorm if guys try him. And we'll get to a ton more on that in a bit, don't get me wrong. But for some reason, Kevin Porter Jr. still wanted to test the former unanimous MVP some more. So he got his wish. To make a long story short, this man got owned and had to walk away in shame because with just a few minutes left in the third quarter, Porter got called for a foul while trying to guard Steph. And then he thought it was a good idea to stare Steph down. Yeah, all right.
And it goes down. His second triple, that's 16 for Curry.
Rockets will just not go away. And Steph, we talked about being grabbed off the ball, and this time we have Porter Jr. called for it. That was the defender on the game winner.
Look at Kevin Porter Jr. looking at Steph. He does not like that call.
I'm going to acknowledge him. I think that's the right approach.
Steph doesn't do a lot of trash talking per se. He'll let you know, like with his play.
What is Kevin Porter Jr. doing?
Steph didn't say anything back right then and there, but if you watch Steph Curry closely enough, you know that the man forgets nothing and sees everything. Steph had a modest 16 points in the game up until that point in the third quarter and finished the quarter off by adding another three-pointer. But that last three he hit in the third quarter was just a small warm-up for what was about to get going. And now that I have your attention, keep watching to find the keyword in this video that will be mentioned a total of 3 times, and comment it down below to enter our huge 100,000 subscriber giveaway. If you guess the keyword right and are subscribed to the channel, you'll have a great shot at winning a pair of sneakers of your choice and a jersey of your favorite NBA player. Do not miss out. But as I was saying, the Steph Curry cooking was about to begin.
Guarding Klay. Curry on Şengün. He's wanted this all night. He gets it again, and he takes advantage of it again. Tate on Curry. Puts on the brakes. Steps back. Makes Steph Curry with 25 and counting. Wow. Vintage Curry.
I was going to say you want to take away the 3 when you guard Curry so that 2 doesn't beat you. And before I could get the words out, Curry gets a 3.
Curry stepping back. Foul line Jimmy goes down. Curry's in his bag right now.
Craig, he's feeling it. That was good defense the last few possessions. Oh, no. Okay, keep playing basketball. He's feeling it. Oh, my goodness, he just woke up. Curry with the left hand. Steph is doing it all right now. Curry relocate 3. Got it! He's got 38, and half of them are here in the fourth.
Wait, what was it really that got Steph and the Warriors fired up? Well, it was after KPJ dared to stare down the babyface assassin, Steph scored 26 points from that moment on in only 16 minutes. Steph taught the kid a lesson that day. And yes, he walked away after that game feeling ashamed and destroyed. Luckily for the Warriors, they've got a leader like Steph to give them a feisty edge in that killer instinct. It's why Steph's splash bro Klay Thompson did the same thing to another player just later that season. The Warriors and the Grizzlies became blood rivals at the end of the 2020 season when Memphis sent Steph and the Warriors home and ended their playoff hopes. And apparently, the Grizzlies felt really good about doing just that. Because when the Grizzlies and Warriors met again almost a year later, this time with Klay in the lineup, the Grizzlies won again. And that led Jaren Jackson Jr. to put out a tweet saying, "Strength in numbers."
There was this one player on the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum.
Little did the Grizzlies know, and little did Jaren Jackson know, that wasn't a fight they'd want to fight.
Game 7, will there be a third? Memphis trying to force one. Thompson, you bet! 5 for 5 for Klay Thompson. Jones cold tonight, now 1 for 6 from the floor. Green to the corner, Thompson connects. And that's the basketball that they need to play. Thompson again. Leader Jaren Jackson Jr. 12 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists for Green. Thompson comes over the rejection. Looney needs help, finds Green. Curry has to pull. Can't hit. Looney another board. He's got 20. Thompson puts it in, and that might be the dagger.
Klay Thompson seriously took that tweet personally, and Jaren Jackson probably seriously considered deleting his Twitter after that trash talking fail. You know, the Golden State Warriors had this amazing run in the NBA for about 3 years, where they pretty much cruised through it all. I'd say it all started the moment they added Kevin Durant to their lineup in 2016, continuing through the 2018 season. It was almost like everyone just assumed the Warriors would win the NBA Finals. Then came 2019, and the Warriors would be in for a challenge. First, they lost KD to an injury during the postseason, and not long after, Klay Thompson tore his ACL in the NBA Finals. So, it was no surprise when the Warriors ended up losing to the Toronto Raptors in the Finals. But here's where people ended up stepping in the wrong direction and doing something they'd end up regretting later on.
Stephen A. Smith, is Golden State's dynasty done?
Yes, it is.
That dynasty's over. We did what we had to do.
While guys were out there celebrating the premature end of the Warriors, the Dubs were working behind the scenes for their next big achievement. we know we aren't done. The Warriors came out firing on all cylinders the next season with Klay back and with Steph and Draymond rested and recovered. A few months later, the Warriors ended their 2-year-long playoff drought by storming into the postseason with one of the best records in the NBA. And then just a couple of months after that,
the Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world. The 4th title in 8 years. The Dubs dynasty is still very much alive.
the Warriors did it, and the revenge season was officially complete. The doubters? Destroyed. But fittingly enough, I've saved the best for last, and you'll get a big hint for that key word shortly, so listen closely. Or else you'll miss Steph Curry running circles around Chris Paul, James Harden, and the Houston Rockets. Well, let's go back to 2018, shall we? It's Game 6 of the 2018 Western Conference Finals, and the Houston Rockets find themselves in a dream scenario, up on the Dubs 3-2 with home court advantage. Until CP3's hamstring famously walked out on him and kept Chris out of the remainder of the series. A tough blow for Houston. I know. I mean, they had to have felt that they were just a healthy Chris Paul hamstring away from winning the NBA Finals. But here's the deal. The Rockets stuck to this belief for the entire next year. I mean, they wouldn't stop thinking nor talking about it, and nor did the fans, which got on the nerves of Steph's Warriors. The next time these two teams would meet in the playoffs would be an absolute war. The question was, were the Rockets ready to back up their talking and prove to the world they really would have won? Well, at first it really looked like Houston was ready, and the series was tied at 2 games apiece entering a critical Game 5. Chris Paul was pretty bitter about how his team went out in the playoffs a year earlier and wanted to do anything he could to kick Steph's Warriors out of the postseason early. But little did they know, the Warriors would flip the switch immediately during the midway point of Game 5 and would take the victory at home to secure a 3-2 series lead over the Rockets. But Houston wasn't down and out just yet because they had Game 6 back at home and could potentially tie up the series and force a Game 7. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention something. So you know the night before Game 6, right? Well, something happened between Steph and CP3 behind the scenes that not a lot of people bring up when mentioning their many beefs over the years. According to a number of reports, Steph wanted to practice on one end of Houston's court to get ready for Game 6 until Chris Paul heard about the entire deal and had Steph kicked off the court so he couldn't practice at all. Now, you already knew the Warriors weren't going to take too kindly to that. Hey, DJ, drop that track.
Nobody on their feet right now. Curry launches a three-pointer, puts it in. Steph Curry from downtown. Curry on the drive, gets past, layup, bank shot is good. Curry with Tucker right with him. Curry launches a three, puts it in again. Surrounded, finds Draymond Green. Green to the basket, kicks it out of Iguodala. Thompson for three. Bang!
Thanks to some added fuel and emotion from Chris Paul and the Rockets, a monster emerged inside the defending champs led by number 30 and number 11 as the Splash Bros led the way in the fourth quarter to officially ice the game as they sent a message to the NBA. Now, that's what we call getting destroyed. That was a big hint for the key word.